Good evening, here are tonight's top stories. The Guyana police have arrested Kadaki Amsterdam on cybercrime charges. An elderly woman was injured in a boat accident on the Essequibo River. Also, the government is responding to severe flooding in Region 10 and the hinterland regions. The GNBS has seized 160 unapproved measuring scales in a nationwide inspection. Police issue wanted bulletin for third suspect in 2021 murder of Hemraj Pardesi and U.S. Congressman J. Jackson visited Mocha Arcadia, EBD. Stay tuned for the details of these stories. Please remember to like, share and subscribe to our channel for more news.
Guyana police arrest Kadaki Amsterdam on cybercrime charges. The Guyana police force has announced that Kadaki Amsterdam was arrested today at approximately 11 a.m. by ranks from the Criminal Investigations Department, CID. The arrest took place at Amsterdam's recording studio in Annandale, East Coast Demerara. Amsterdam faces charges related to 3 cybercrime offenses, including using a computer system to transmit words spoken by a video that encourages or incites any person to commit the offense of murder against the president and members of the government, contrary to Section 18(1)(z) of the Cybercrime Act No. 16 of 2018. Using a computer system to disseminate information known to be false, contrary to Section 19(3)(a) of the Cybercrime Act No. 16 of 2018. The alleged offenses were also committed against a businessman and other individuals. According to the Cybercrime Act No. 16 of 2018, if convicted on indictment for the first offense, the individual faces a maximum penalty of 5 years in prison. For the second offense, if convicted summarily, the individual could face a fine of $5 million and 3 years of imprisonment. If convicted on indictment, the penalty increases to a fine of $10 million and 5 years in prison. The Guyana police force emphasizes that these allegations are being treated with utmost seriousness, and investigations are ongoing. Are you looking for a job? We are hiring currently for excavator operators to work in the interior. Give us a call at 602-9139 or 614-2673. You can also WhatsApp us to schedule an interview. The closing date for applying is the 6th of June, 2024. We look forward to hearing from you. Boat accident on Essequibo River leaves elderly woman injured. A 65-year-old woman sustained injuries, and several other passengers managed to escape unharmed after a boat accident on the Essequibo River on Tuesday. The incident occurred around 11:30 a.m. as the boat was traveling from Supinam to Porica. According to reports, the boat, operated by a teenager, struck an object in the river, causing a near toppling. A passenger, who wished to remain anonymous, recounted the harrowing experience to the newsroom. The boat was going around a turn when it almost turned over, he said. The boat was fully occupied at the time, including one child. An alarm was raised immediately following the impact, and the injured elderly woman, who suffered a hand injury, was taken to receive medical attention. The remaining passengers were safely transferred to another boat. The incident has left the passengers visibly shaken. I am still trembling right now, the passenger added. The authorities have been notified, and an investigation into the cause of the accident is expected to follow. GNBS seizes 160 unapproved measuring scales in nationwide inspection. The Guyana National Bureau of Standards, GNBS, has confiscated 160 unapproved and unverified measuring scales during an inspection by its legal metrology department. The seizure took place as part of ongoing surveillance exercises at shops and markets across the country to ensure compliance with standards for measuring instruments used in retail trade. Beginning in May, these unannounced inspections were carried out in markets in and around the city, including Stabroek, Bourda, Kitty, Ruimveldt, Plaisance, and Mon Repos. The GNBS identified that the seized scales were not suitable for commercial trade, as their internal parts are not designed to endure the frequent use typical in retail environments. Consequently, these domestic scales are prone to inaccuracies, which can result in consumers and vendors receiving incorrect measurements. In light of this, the GNBS has advised vendors and shopkeepers to utilize verified electronic scales, equal arm, red O scales, and platform scales for weighing goods offered for sale. These scales are better suited to withstand the demands of commercial use and ensure accurate measurements. Consumers are encouraged to look for the GNBS-approved seal affixed to measuring instruments to verify their accuracy and compliance with standards. This seal ensures that the instrument has been inspected and approved for use in trade, safeguarding both consumer interests and fair trade practices. Police issue wanted bulletin for third suspect in 2021 murder of Hemraj Pardesi. Years after the fatal robbery, police have issued a wanted bulletin for a third suspect in the murder of overseas-based Guyanese Hemraj Pardesi. Jason Isaacs, 32, whose last known address is Bristol Street, East Kanj Burbis, is sought for questioning in relation to Pardesi's death. Hemraj Pardesi was murdered on August 3, 2021, at Reliance Settlement, East Kanj Burbis. Shortly after the incident, Mario Basundial of Cumberland, East Kanj Burbis, and Molly Shaw Dutchin, 26, of Reliance, East Kanj, were charged and remanded for the murder. Pardesi, who had returned to Guyana a few weeks prior to his death, was found dead in his yard. Following the discovery, police arrested Basundial, who was found hiding in the Kanj Creek. During interrogation, Basundial confessed to participating in the plot and execution of the robbery/murder and implicated Dutchin and Isaacs. Basundial disclosed to the police that the plan to rob Pardesi was orchestrated by Dutchin. Dutchin, who later turned herself in to the authorities, confirmed she had a relationship with Pardesi and had called him over to her house the night he was killed. She claimed to have had no knowledge of what transpired after he left. Contrarily, Basundial's statement to the police revealed that Dutchin had lured Pardesi to her house via a phone call. After Pardesi left, Dutchin allegedly contacted Isaacs. Basundial stated that he and Isaacs then went to Pardesi's yard and attacked him. The police are urging anyone with information on the whereabouts of Jason Isaacs to come forward as the investigation continues. Government responds to severe flooding in Region 10 and hinterland regions. The government has expressed deep concern over the incidences of flooding caused by excessive rainfall across Region 10 and other hinterland regions overnight. The affected families have the government's empathy, and efforts are underway to address the situation promptly. In response to the flooding, technical teams have been dispatched to assess the damage and collaborate with local officials to determine necessary remedial actions. Early this morning, the Ministry of Public Works, in conjunction with the Ministry of Agriculture's National Drainage and Irrigation Authority, NDIA, the municipal and regional administrations, and a technical team from the bauxite company, Bozai, began a rapid assessment across affected areas in Linden. Similar teams have been deployed to the Rupununi and other impacted hinterland communities. Central authorities have engaged 2 contractors to clear block drains and facilitate the quick runoff of floodwaters in Vismar and Mackenzie. The Civil Defense Commission is also preparing to establish 2 shelters in Linden by nightfall today to assist those displaced by the flooding. The heavy rainfall recorded overnight in Linden was significant, with measurements of 170 mm in West Watuka, 160.6 mm at Vismar, and 123.4 mm at Kamaka. This rainfall is part of the May-June season, which traditionally brings excessive rainfall and often impacts communities and sectors negatively. Residents in low-lying areas are urged to take necessary precautionary measures to mitigate suffering. The government calls on all stakeholders to join efforts in providing assistance where possible. Leadership, maturity, and responsible behavior are crucial during such natural disasters to ensure the safety and well-being of all affected individuals. U.S. Congressman Jay Jackson's visit to Mocha Arcadia EBD. Listen as honorable. Nima Flubes MP raises concerns affecting residents of Mocha Arcadia.
In the utmost respect, in a timely format, as in 30 seconds or less than 1 minute per person. And kindly put all phones on vibrate, please. Thank you. All phones on vibrate. So if you would like to speak, an indication of hands, there's someone that will go around the floor and will give you the mic.
Thank you so much for that. But if I could have a point of privilege, this is a family dialogue. If one person wants to talk longer, I am available to listen. So we're going to do this like we're sitting in the kitchen. I want to hear from you. I want to know the challenges. And so I'm not here representing your government. I'm here as a representative from my district, or the 1st District of Illinois, and I want to hear from you. And I hope you would be as candid as you can. Some people are going to take longer because they have more to say, and I appreciate that. So in that spirit, I thank you.
No problem.
All right, I'll change my position. Good morning.
Good morning.
And a special welcome to you, Congressman Jackson, to the Mocha Arcadia community. It's a privilege to have you in our village.
I'm going to come down a little bit, so the table's in my way. Let's push the table back, so let's speed this up. Table's back.
I am the Honorable Nima Flubes, Member of Parliament and resident of Mocha Arcadia community. So it is truly an honor to invite you to this, to welcome you to our community. Like my residents, I was informed through social media of your coming here. Now, I have a threefold presentation, and I've put together videos on this flash to give to you so that when you get back home, you can look at what I've spoken of. First of all, history. This year, Mocha celebrates 130 years. And we're very proud of that achievement. However, as a community, we are in a struggle and fight to save our lands that we have acquired from our ancestors, with methods that are being taken. In the 130 years that we celebrate, this morning I have the Cane View, some Cane View residents here. I'll ask them to stand so that you can see them. Are the persons, Cane View residents, please stand. Are the residents whose homes were graded down on the 5th of January 2023 by the government in the name of the development of the 4-lane highway. I wish that I can take you to the spot for you to see that they were not in the way of the road. The information is here. Secondly, so these are the Cane View residents, and they're not comfortable. Secondly, flooding, and I'm quite sure you'll hear more about that. I have a bag with vegetables on the ground. Mark, you could take it out. The vegetables are currently under threat from flooding as a result of works not being done during the dry season that is being undertaken now in the rainy season. Congressman, flooding in our community, from the time we have this government, 2020, they said they were building a bridge and they blocked the drainage canal. All the farmers lost. 2022, deliberate flooding was done to this community, from water being drained from other communities into the canal, and there's no pump there. So all the water is being flooded on our farmers. And thirdly, 2024, now in this rainy season, I am witnessing again the loss of many crops as a result of works that was not done during the dry season. Here I have my video evidence that I put together on a flash for you to have. And thirdly, the invasions of our lands. Congressman, we have lands in this community that many of our farmers have been farming for years. I grew up on the farm. My family have a farm. I have a farm. Because of the rainy season, I have to pick out my soursop, lemon, and all that I can reap because of the water on the land. Some of them rotting because of the water. Could you believe the leases for many farmers are not being renewed since we had a change of administration? Hence, many of our people are operating in limbo, not sure what will happen or if a grader will come to grade them down. We have lands in Arcadia, they are our ancestral lands. The NDC would have written to the government for assistance to have those lands sorted out. What we have, ministers coming in, making their own arrangements, not engaging our elected officials on these particular matters. And so currently the south end of Arcadia, I have pictures here, the government has sent people there to occupy our lands. And we have the same issue at the front. So these are three critical issues, which I believe, from listening to your bio, would be very important to assist us to help the government to understand that we're all Guyanese and deserve to be treated equally. I thank you. And this is your message.
Okay, that's how we get it started. Who's next?
Mr. Aaron.